In this class, we will present an introduction to the third class in Perek Hamafkid, which is Masechtas Bava Metzia on Daf Lamed Gimel Lamed Beis and Daf Lamed Daled Amud Aleph. So the introduction consists of two things. Number one, a kinyan. What is a kinyan? In order to transfer ownership over an item, there needs to be a kinyan, something tangible that can establish ownership. So for three examples of a kinyan would be if somebody pulled the item, that would be called Mashicha. If somebody lifted the item, that would be called Hagbah. Or if the owner of the item picked up something from the receiver, so if the giver picked up something of the receivers, and he said, in exchange for me now picking up your item, you get ownership over my item, so that his item doesn't have to be here, it could be in his house or in a different location. If when he picks it up, he says, by me picking up this item, you get ownership over that item, then that's an effective kinyan. The point is, in all three of these examples, there's an act that was done. If a person gives his word to give something, his word doesn't make a kinyan. Words are just words. They don't have the power to transfer ownership over an item. So an example of this would be if somebody says about a white wall, it's a green wall, the wall doesn't become green. If he paints it green, it becomes green. So too, you can say by a kinyan. If somebody says, I will give you something, it doesn't establish the reality that now he has to give it. However, if there was an action done to get ownership over the item, then ownership is established. So basically what we're saying here is, if there's action, then it's effective. If there's talk, it's ineffective, it accomplishes nothing. And the second thing in this introduction is, Ein Adam Makne Davar Shaloi Bala Olam, which means a person cannot transfer ownership over something that doesn't exist. If the thing is not yet in existence, he cannot transfer ownership. A kinyan can only be made over something that actually exists, and not something that will later exist. So somebody might expect to get something in the near future. He might wish for something in the near future. However, in the meantime, he's unable to give over ownership of this item because he doesn't yet have it. It's only once he actually has the item that he could then transfer ownership of it. To somebody else. And those are the two items in the introduction that we're presenting before the third class.